Hello YouTube fans, this is Dr. Matthew Johnson. It is Thursday, August 27th at 4 p.m. I just wanted to shoot a quick video here in SOHA to address a couple things that have come up in PMs and groups. Some sincere questions, others not so sincere. But we'll just kind of hit them along the way. So here I go. Number one, I've never used an illicit drug in my life. My father was an Oregon State Trooper. When I was 13 years old, he came home from work and said, "Matt, we're going to have a talk about alcohol and drugs." "Okay, Dad. If you ever use any alcohol or drugs, I'm going to kill you and throw your rotting corpse in jail." "Okay." I never ever use any illicit drugs. By the way, there's no drugs or alcohol allowed in SOHA because I want my participants to be sober and not accused of using such substances. And during the portal experience, as is the case of any other time we're up in SOHA, nobody was high on anything. Number two, the portal experience. What's interesting to note for me, and should be for you too, is that nobody's disputing the fact anymore, or most people aren't anymore, regarding Squatch activity in SOHA. Everyone's pretty much accepting that I'm habituating with the Squatch family. Adam testified via the video with John Carlson that there's a lot of Squatch activity in SOHA. So nobody appears to be disputing that anymore. What some of you are disputing is whether or not a portal experience actually occurred in SOHA. My response to that is, yeah, I produced the audio tapes. It happened. Some of you are going, well, Adam hasn't talked yet. Adam hasn't talked. I need to hear Adam talk. As if Adam came out and said there was a portal and so all of a sudden you'd do a 180. And I know that you'd throw him under the bus just like you're throwing me under the bus. You also conveniently ignore the fact that 7 people, since June of last year, a total of 7 people have witnessed the portal in SOHA. 6 out of the 7 people have said it's there. Adam's the only one who hasn't spoken up. Well, why hasn't he spoken up? I don't know. It's his choice not to. I don't know why he hasn't spoken up. I can only speculate just like the rest of you. Government job? Maybe he's got a book deal and he can't talk about what he's writing about until the book comes out. I don't know. He certainly has my permission to talk about what happened in SOHA. Nothing in the NDA stops him or anybody I bring up there from talking about what happened in SOHA. The NDA clearly says the following 3 important things. You don't get to disclose the location of SOHA. You don't get to go back to SOHA without being my invited guest, meaning you don't get to go back by yourself. And number 3, I own all the research data that comes out of SOHA. Okay, hair samples, saliva samples, audio recordings, video recordings, pictures. I own it all. It's my research area. I've invested my years in it. So I don't know why Adam's not talking. And it's okay. Adam doesn't feel comfortable talking, so that's fine. Let's see. The other interesting thing is that John Carlson has come out publicly in numerous Facebook posts and said it happened. And John's a good friend of Adam. Matter of fact, John's been a friend of Adam longer than he's been a friend of mine. And he's come out and said it happened. The only thing that Adam and John and I are disagreeing about is that they think that the portal and the guardians of the portal, the 3-foot tall, kind of hairy Ewoks without costumes on, or clothes on, and glowing red eyes, they think they're demonic, and I don't. So the three of us are actually in agreement that the portal happened. The four of us, because Grady was there too, are actually in agreement that the Guardians were there. Adam and John and I are just simply disagreeing about what they were. They think they were demonic. That's why you heard them in the audio recordings rebuking them in the name of Christ. Okay? Well, why did you go to sleep? If it was scary and dangerous, why did you go to sleep? Well, that's the point. I didn't think it was scary and dangerous. I had been up there for 8 years, and I managed to wake up alive every morning. Every morning I woke up alive. And I concluded that that portal had to have been there the whole time. I just didn't know it. Because you see, when I sat in the base camp, I would face the 12 o'clock direction on the perimeter. And I would see lights flash up in the trees in front of me, never thinking that the source of that light was the portal behind me at the 6 o'clock position on the perimeter. I didn't know there was a portal there until Adam and John accidentally stumbled onto it because they were in the smoking section in SOHA. And they were smoking and smoking back there, laughing and having a great time, and they got farther and farther down the 6 o'clock position and triggered it. I didn't know it was there. But I concluded it had to have been there the whole time. I saw the flash of light off the trees, and in all those 8 years, I never woke up dead. So I had to have been safe. It was safe. Matter of fact, you hear on the audio that I encourage them to go to bed. And maybe if they ignore them, they'll go away. And then, no, they won't. So, you know. The other thing is, why did I go to sleep? Come on. I was being a good host. We come off the mountain every day during the summer to cool down or see the sights, and during the winter to warm up. We come off the mountain every day. There's no squatch activity during the day. And I was driving John and Adam around while they were sleeping in the Suburban. You saw the humorous pictures that I posted about them sleeping while I was driving in the Suburban. Now, there's no way on God's green earth that I could stay up all night and drive all day and stay up all night and drive all day. Couldn't do it. Plus, I had to get us back to the Seattle area, which was an 8-hour drive. I couldn't stay up all night and do that. And again, I concluded I woke up alive for 8 years. I'm not going to wake up dead now. So they concluded that the Guardians and the portal were demonic. And I concluded that they were simply guardians of an interdimensional portal doing their job from their, 9 to 5 shift, whatever. And I could just see them going home from work. How was your day, honey? Wow, we had these weird humans. And they kept trying to come through the portal, and we had to keep scaring them back to keep them from going through the portal. So nobody's disputing the presence of squatches and SOHA anymore. That's a good thing. Adam, John, and I aren't disputing the fact that the portal happened. You haven't heard Adam deny it. I mean, seriously. If this was all BS, Adam would come out and say, that never happened. He's lying. He hasn't said that. So I don't know why he's not talking. Maybe a book, maybe government job, maybe something else. I don't know. But we're not disputing that the portal happened or that there were guardians. We're just disputing what the portal and the guardians are. That's it. Not disputing that they happened. Just interpretation of where the portal goes and who the guardians are. Have you noticed that? Listening to the audios and reading the Facebook posts? Not even Adam's come out and said the portal never happened. And he can't, because the audio tapes are pretty clear that he's saying it happened. Well, how come, you're full of crap. You're making all this stuff up. I've been out there for years and none of that stuff has ever happened. I've said it time and time again, and I'll say it again before I sign off here. I did the old school paparazzi money shot approach for 10 years, the aggressive approach, whacking on trees, hanging up trail cams, all kinds of high-tech equipment, bobo screams, wah! Blasting out calls, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you occasionally get responses back. You occasionally get responses back or a tree whack back. You occasionally hear them around camp, but that's it. The reason why I'm getting all this activity that some of you doubt about, and you're not, and the reason why I didn't for the first 10 years either, was because they don't like disrespectful aggression. When I changed over to the habituation method and I started leaving the high-tech equipment at home and putting food out away from the base camp and playing music and singing songs and whistling and laughing and talking and joking and doing the no lights policy and creating a protocol that I followed routinely every time I'm out there, which makes me predictable, and predictability makes us trustworthy, and I left the gun in the car. They started coming in closer and closer. So that's why we're experiencing what we're experiencing in SOHA, and you're not, because you're still invested in the old school paparazzi money shot approach. It didn't do Peter Byrne very much good over his 40, 50 years in the field. I would suggest that you learn from that, and that you learn from those of us who are habituating, who are getting the experiences, and start doing the habituation research method. That's why I share what I share online, so you can learn and implement it in your place. And guess what? Those who actually listen and learn and have switched over from the old school aggressive paparazzi money shot approach to implementing the habituation research method, they're starting to get results. I get PMs all the time. Dr. J, I switched over and it's working. They're starting to come in. That's what I want for you. That's why I share it openly. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not. But you have to admit, it's hard not to grr back when I'm constantly being trolled at. And well, one last thing, the vocals, the recorded language. I'm not making that up. My audio recordings are there on SoundCloud for you to listen to. I've had witnesses there too. Everything I do, I have multiple witnesses. It's not me by myself. And the language is real. I'm not making that stuff up. So enjoy the YouTube videos, enjoy the SoundCloud file, the website, and our Facebook group. And hopefully that clears some of your questions up. If you have more, let me know. I'll shoot another video for you. You have a great day.